Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Evolve podcast where we have interesting and insightful conversations. I'm really excited to be joined by Martin today. Martin is a really cool person that I actually met on a flight home, and we ended up having a really great chat, and we're like, you know what, let's get on a podcast and let's talk about some things, because Martin's also a breathwork instructor, and breathwork has definitely been one of the most transformational practices that I have in my toolkit. And so we've got a really cool person here to chat with today, guys. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. That's awesome. That plane ride was interesting. That was fun. It was like, that's you, that's me. And of course, we have this thing in common, which is awesome.
Yeah,
and it's been a big part of my life too, the breathing practice. So
I'm curious, like, when did you find breathwork? What kind of place were you at in your life when you found breathwork?
That's a good question, because I did like a practice with this lady. She was teaching a method called the effigy breathing. So it's just like straight up hyperventilating for an hour.
Great.
So intense, and I had no idea what it was.
You're like, I like this.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck? I breathe every day. Like, I can join a breathing class. She told me you have to come. And the last day before she was moving, I was like, okay, I'll come for the class. And then I kind of lay there for the first 10 minutes, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? It was like this music, people like screaming suddenly, and I'm like, it's intimidating. And then I started to feel the change myself, because I kind of went for it. And it was really, really intense, like super psychedelic, crazy. I was surfing like a 30-meter wave in my head, the colors, and I came back like just sweating. I was like, what the fuck is that? That was so crazy. But I didn't really understand like the practice and like the depth of it. So it's more like a kick. I did it like 10, 15 times with her, and it was awesome. It was cool. Every time was different, sometimes dark, sometimes really like light. And I didn't practice until later, because I had a really hard heartbreak that almost ended my life, or I ended my own life, which was amazing. It's the best thing that ever happened to me. But it was after those classes, years later, in 2018, 2019, I decided to change what was already really dark. And then I did one session on my own, like so crazy, like a Wim Hof practice, and there was some cold water involved, and I just like cried tears of joy from being like really, really depressed to like so enlightened, quote unquote. Like I felt like me times 10 again. So I understood like the breath is what changed the chemistry, and obviously doing the hyperventilating practice like I did my first time is not for everyone, which I thought. So for my years as a coach in the beginning, I was like so intense. And then like I learned a lot more about the parasympathetic nervous system later on. Yeah. So now I kind of combine like strength training, sauna, ice baths, mental stuff, and then breathing is a big part of that.
Wow.
The coaching too.
Wow. A big part of what I love to talk to people, like the kind of conversations that I love to explore on this podcast, is like the tough times and like what we learned through that. So you mentioned heartbreak. Yeah. And you just said like that was, something that you're really, really grateful for now. Do you mind telling us a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, for sure. So I had what I thought back then was the love of my life. And we had a great time for the first year was really awesome. I was working in this sales job, like trying to make a lot of money, making it work. And then that was like the gym, and then the training or the work was like the focus with her. And then I don't know what happened. There was like a part in me that's starting to get like more control in what she was doing. And I started making up scenarios, thinking she was cheating, doing all this stuff. And it's like, she wasn't. It was just me being like, I lost my purpose a little bit in life. So like work wasn't that important anymore. Like she became the more important person, more important than me.
Oh, okay.
And I became like really jealous and all that kind of weirdness around it. So eventually we broke up, because obviously nobody can be in a relationship like that. So... And then it got really tough, because I just realized I just pushed away the one thing I really, really loved. And it went like for almost a year where I just like isolated myself, had some online work I could do, and really didn't see my friends, not my family, and stopped eating.
Wow.
Was really ill. Like I started vomiting in the morning just as soon as I woke up, because she wasn't there. And then it's like I weighed like 50 kilos, a little bit more than 100 pounds, which is not really healthy for anyone. But then like I had to change, right? So it's like either, because everyone can become the victim, and I was the biggest victim for this year. You know, I didn't want to have any sympathy or anything, so I was just getting more into like more and more suicidal. And then until the choice or the decision I had to make, either like do it or not do it. So I did some crazy breathing on my own for like 45 minutes, and it was really intense because it was just like layers and layers. And then I felt like realigned. So I started traveling like through Norway, through doctors, colleagues, friends, families. Like, guys, you have to do breathwork. So I just did like 100 classes, like where I just traveled and did the method that saved my life. And then, yeah, again, I didn't explain to the people what the depth of breathwork is or breathing techniques. So they had a good time when I like introduced them, but they didn't do the work subconsciously, I think, that you kind of need to do sometimes with those heavy practices.
Yeah.
So in hindsight now, coach like thousands and thousands of people, received like hundreds of messages where people like, yo, I'm feeling great because of this one class or this work we're doing. And without the depression, and like that was my sacrifice almost. You know, for me to feel that bad, to now be able to help other people through similar stuff, you know. So it's like, if you told me back then this is the best thing that ever gonna happen to you, I couldn't never comprehend that and take that in. Like absolutely impossible. So I can see when people are like the victim and it's all them and it's all like, I understand that, but in the end, as we spoke of before the conversation, like it's always you who has to make that choice. No matter how much anyone told me, like, oh, go to the gym and train, you're going to feel better. It's like, don't really care about living, you know, like fuck the gym.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's so deep. But you know, you're never alone, you know, there's always help. And it's a really interesting thing my mentor told me years ago. After this, it was like, there's done interviews with people who tried to or did jump the Golden Gate Bridge and the survivors of them. And they like interviewed all these people, and there was like 1% that actually didn't regret after jumping. So once you've done that choice, which is the darkest thing you can almost do to anyone else and yourself, most people regret, you know, after, but sometimes it's too late.
Yeah.
So at least I was really happy to live again.
Yeah.
Right? So now
wow, that's amazing,
it's
right?
really cool. It's amazing. I'm so grateful
It's like
for
a
all of
second
it.
chance of life.
Yeah, exactly.
What did
So
that
now,
do for you?
well, now when those like crazy thoughts come, because we're still crazy people, when times are tough, you kind of just laugh at it. Like, how can I even go into that direction? Because you're so grateful for everything. You know, all the ups and the downs, and that's life is going to be up and down. And that's what I kind of teach too, is like, how can people feel comfortable in being uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Like an ice bath or a heavy sauna or a long breath hold. But you don't want to push people like who's super fragile and anxious and like to do intense stuff either. So it all depends on them.
On the person.
On the person.
Yeah, totally. What did you learn about yourself through that relationship? Like in hindsight, when you reflect back, like what were you being shown?
Yeah, no,
about
that's
yourself?
a cool question. And I guess I've thought about it before, but I'm very competitive as an athlete or a person. And then I learned how to control that eventually. So like when I lose stuff that is not important anymore, I don't get upset like I used to.
Did you use? Yeah, I
So competitive
feel
hockey
like-
player, like losing, breaking my sticks.
I could see it.
Yeah. So it pushed me to be a good surfer, whatever good is, but like I surfed a lot because I'm so stubborn, right? So, but you can rather do an ice bath or surfing practices with love, you know, like enjoy this, not sit there and like force and I got this, because you will get hurt or sick if you do that. So
Is that like a cultural thing from where you're from? Are men a little bit like that?
Well, we're cold people from Norway. Yeah,
We're cold people from-
cold-hearted for sure. Yeah.
Like the
I don't know.
stubbornness?
No, I guess it's a rough environment for sure. It gets intense, you know. So people are a little bit intense. I think it comes also from family. You know, my roots are Finnish too, and it's even more stubborn people there.
So interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What he learned about me was the competitive part. My ex-girlfriend's mom, she said that I can never change this. You'll always be that jealous person. And that just to me was like, you know what? I'm going to do so much work now that I'm not going to be.
Yeah, a little bit of a challenge. Okay,
And then
so
what?
we know,
That
how,
was-
we know how to
exactly.
get through to you now.
Yeah.
Cool.
So 100%, that was like always in the back of my head. So I did a lot of work, like hours and hours and hours of practices and reading and, you know, sharpening my craft and just learning more about everything. And now I'm almost in a position where it's like, if my girlfriend is cheating on me, it's mostly, not always, but it could be a lot of it's my fault for not stimulating physically, mentally, spiritually. Some girls are crazy, like guys too. Some guys are crazy and you can't control, you know, what they will do. But then again, now it's like, I don't really care because if it's the right one, it's not going to happen. And you treat it nice
Exactly.
through the whole way. So people don't really want to. They don't have any need to do it. So coming back to it's like, whatever happens, I can always like either learn from, or you can like kind of not control it. It's not what I'm trying to say, but I'm not jealous anymore, at least. It feels good, you know. It's like, obviously you don't want to see your partner do stuff with other people, but if like that's gonna happen like that, it's like, okay, you know, kind of move on from it and then learn.
Yeah.
Because the right one will come.
I love to practice this thing in life where I really believe in the law of attraction, and that we attract what we're an energetic match for, and we're like getting feedback through what we experience in our lives, what we find in front of us. And so I really look at that like in terms of like the people that I meet, the relationships I find myself in, the clients I attract, like everything. Yeah, I'm like, what's this showing me about me? How did I attract this? Right? And like, where is the opportunity for growth in that?
Exactly.
Because it's kind of like we're always getting feedback.
Right.
Yeah, from God, from the universe. It's like, and I believe that feedback is trying to nudge us like into alignment.
100%. And there's signs along the way, and you're like, the really interesting part here is like the gut feeling is always right. You know, like the first intent, like you feel like there's something off with a person, or like later on you're like, oh, I felt that, but I didn't like, there was no actual signs, but my gut feeling was saying this. There's a great podcaster, or this guy who's been working for the FBI. It's really amazing for women to like check out people, like the few questions you can ask to like throw off people who's like narcissistic or psychopaths. His name is Chase Hughes. He's been working for the FBI and CIA.
Interesting.
Like a body language expert, you know, to deal with like heavy, you know, situation who's keeping people hostage. And so he's really, really interesting. And he does a lot for like now teaching women to look up for those crazy people that there is out there, you know.
That's so interesting.
So like one thing it just teaches is because like what a lot of people who is crazy, what they're doing is like they're rehearsing everything before they meet the person.
Ah, of course.
So they always rehearse it in the right order. So what you could do, and what he teaches or tells you, is like just ask them what they did what was the last thing you did before you came here? And that's like throws them off because they can't, okay, I practiced this before getting there. So just like very simple questions you can do like on a first date, for instance, you know, like if you feel like there's something off, he says like there's 99.9999% there is something. So always trust that gut feeling. To the thing you're like you're reflecting, like there's a mirror of like something you can learn and you can have growth from. I think that's really amazing at how you look at life, because the tough times is like, what can I learn from this?
Yeah.
Like how can I not do that again, or how can I like get something out of that situation, like running a business and then you go bankrupt. Like how can I do that maybe again?
How can I not do that again?
Exactly. So it's like, oh, it sucks. Now I got to go back to corporate world and job. It's like you don't have to. You can just now do it from another experience,
exactly.
right?
Maybe that's happening for you.
Exactly.
You know,
Most everything is.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like just stop being that victim of like me and then do something about it. But it's easy to say and it's hard to execute when you're in that.
Totally.
In that.
Totally. And like we've both been there, right? In that situation where it's like the world as you saw it is fucking crumbling. And you're like, no. And you're just like digging your claws in. And you're like, I'm not fucking letting go. This is what I want. And it's like, we don't always get what we want. We get what we need.
Exactly.
And there's like, there's an element of surrender and trust
100%
that we have to just anchor into like within all of that, because otherwise it's just going to create more suffering for you. Like when you resist the changes that are naturally unfolding in your life, like you get to choose how to navigate that situation. You can either do it resisting it, which will cause more suffering, or you can just be like, fuck it. Like this is what I'm being handed. Like this is clearly meant to happen. Yeah. Everything happens for me. I'm always in the right place at the right time. Yeah. I'm right where I'm meant to be, even if it's fucked right now. Yeah. It's like there's medicine in all of those experiences, and you will, like, things will get better.
It will.
Everything's temporary.
And it's also like when it's good, it's not going to always be good.
Exactly.
Right? So that's like the little tricky one, because when life is nice and easy, you're like, try not to get too excited. I'm like, not saying you shouldn't be excited about life, but like...
Don't be excited by life.
Don't be that. Like, it's going to go back to...
Let's make that the title of the podcast with Martin.
Don't be excited about life. Just live a boring, normal, life. For sure. No, it's like... When there's like, because I'm like very often injured, right? I am a very extreme person in my, like if I do sports or drive motocross or playing hockey, it's like I'm very often injured because it's just part of the things we're doing. So when I'm not injured and there's nothing, my body feels great, I'm like just a little low-key waiting. Like,
oh no, you can't do that.
And it's kind of like I surf, everything's fine. It's big waves. Then I drive my friend's scooter like 10 days ago, and I cruise, I follow this little moped, we're going like 10 kilometers, and this guy just like doesn't blink, he just drives right in the road, hits my knee, crashes almost the scooter into another bike. I manage somehow to like steer back up, I jump off, and I'm kind of like really angry in my head because he didn't blink, and I'm like, shit, it's not my scooter, the scooter's broken, my knee's fucked, there's big surf coming, and I just sat there and like, I was so calm. He tried to get mad at me, and he's apparently a little crazy person too.
Oh.
And he was like kind of getting, definitely. There's two crazy people
there. Two crazy people in this situation.
No.
One's staying calm, one's about to blow up.
And I was like so mad. And then somehow the situation got really like calmed down, and he picked up the scooter, he went to pay for the parts, he fixed everything. He called me later, I was like, bro, thank you for a really good reminder, and thank you for being so cool about it.
Wow.
And I'm like, in my head, the first minute, I was so angry. But then I'm like, you know what? It all happens for a reason.
Wow.
So I just sat down, my knee kind of hurts. They're like, are you okay? But I'm like, well, it hurts a little bit, like I'm limping, and there's literally a big surf coming the next day. And I had to stay out for 1 week, no surfing. And now I got, it's okay. I can surf, but I got to go a little slower.
What did you get to do instead?
I worked.
Yeah.
I worked a bunch, sat on the computer, did a lot of things I've been pushing
There
away.
you go. You created that.
Exactly.
See, we create everything. It's like,
exactly.
for what purpose did I create
100%.
this injury? It's like, because you have some fucking work to do.
And you don't do it. And now I'm going to, you surf 5-6 hours when you work, or like, okay, there's going to be a little truck here, and it's going to make you not surf now. So it's like, it's just grateful through the whole thing. Go to the gym, train upper body, because I'm not surfing. And it's like,
with that feedback, Martin, like what choices could you make in the future so that you stop creating these injuries to make you work?
Oh, I think there's like, surf less is one thing. Like you do less things, and you get like your stimulants from other hard shit you're doing too. Because I think people with a lot of energy, like, I have a lot of drive, I have a lot of, dreams and goals and things I'm like pushing for. And obviously, I'm way more chill now than I used to be. So I think just like when my shoulder injury came, because I'm surfing so much and I work so much and I sleep only 6 hours, and it's just like constant all day. Eventually, my body's like, hey, no matter how much breath work or ice baths you're doing, which I do every day, it's like you're surfing way too much. It's just like more quality waves. Exactly, there's no time. So just more quality waves. Surfing a little bit less, working a little more, taking a little bit more me time, and then there's fewer
sleep
injuries.
as well.
Of course.
That's interesting, right? Like life is giving you feedback. It's like if this thing is your goal and whatever that looks like, it's like, okay, am I actually contributing enough energy to be able to achieve that goal? And so there's like a little bit of a, we need to reflect in those moments and be like, when I first started my coaching business, I was like, I want my coaching business to do really well. And I was reflecting, I was like, it gets like none of my time. Like, because I'm doing this, personal training job, and that takes up this amount of time. On the weekends, I'm partying and doing fucking drugs and drinking alcohol. Like that, like my energy distribution was totally off, and it was not congruent with being successful in my goals.
Exactly.
And like, with that awareness, it's like, oh, what are you going to do with that?
Yeah.
With that feedback that you're receiving, change some things up. Exactly. And that's when I became sober, and I ended up moving out of that town, so I wasn't like in the same crowd anymore. And
it's a big one.
Yeah, right. So,
that's the biggest one almost, yeah.
Yeah, when you redistribute where your energy is going, and you're making sure that it's actually congruent with your goals, and also supporting yourself and your well-being, and like nourishing yourself on a mind, body, spirit level. Oh my fucking God, like you're going to get where you need to be and where you want to be.
the growth is coming. Yeah, there's like you want all this stuff, but like how are you gonna achieve that? You know, like when you spend, there's no way you're not winning any lottery, because that's not really how life is set up. And then you want to achieve a super successful thing, but how? You know, so it's like suddenly I think that's also what I teach my clients, and because people that wants to give up something, right? There has to be like I think there has to be a replacement. Like for me, because I partied a lot too when I was younger, and I don't think it's a bad thing partying, but just don't do it every weekend. You know, like you go out, have fun for a full moon and whatever. Like I'm not telling my people or my clients' friends to be like a monk sober lifestyle. I don't think that's for everyone, but you gotta have way more of the good stuff, right? And then when you do more of that good stuff, you want to do less of the other stuff, because you just put in a whole day working and training, taking care of your body. It's like, am I going to go drink this whole night and then kind of waste that heavy workout, waste that nice sauna session, waste? It's like you want to do less. You kind of want to wake. So it's nice that rhythm. So for me, it was the surfing part, you know, because I came here wanting to learn to surf like years ago. And then suddenly like staying up late, I couldn't get the good waves in the morning.
Yeah.
Right? So then I became an early morning person. I wake up like 4 now every day almost. And it's like my routine, 4 to 5. And it's like, for some people that sounds insane. But when you go to bed like 9, it's fine. You know?
Would
like
love the Gold Coast.
Oh, it's the best. I actually
Have you been there?
Yeah. I had a van with my ex-girlfriend there also back in the day.
Because that's what, like, everyone's up, like, as soon as the sun comes up, and the sun comes up very early there.
Yeah,
so it's like,
good.
If you're not up getting, you know, early bird getting the worm, then...
Yeah, you get skunked.
You feel a bit shit.
Yeah.
I love what you were saying before. And also, it's like, I think there's just an internal check-in that comes with that. It's like, wait, does this feel good for me anymore? Because I think naturally, as we start to get older and our priorities naturally shift, like past behaviors and habits may just no longer feel good for you. And that can be like a little bit confronting to face, because it may be all you've known until a certain point, and maybe it was a source of connection and belonging with certain people in your life. And so, I mean, I've been through that, like, and I think at the end of the day, you just got to do what feels right for you, and trust that.
Exactly. And then you can like pretend what's, you know, you feel the gut feeling again, and like you kind of avoid the red flag, and you like keep doing it, and in the end it gets back to you, and it's like, I should have trusted, you know, my, because I think most, not every, I don't know for everyone, but I think most people know what's right and wrong. You know, like for
themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, this is not really benefiting me, but I'm still gonna do it. And I think, like, I don't think we can live a perfect life and be sitting there like, what's the best thing for me right now to do? And my friend told that like a couple of years ago, and he was like, when he sat down, had nothing to do, I was like, what's the absolute best thing I can do for my business and myself now? And it's not sitting there, obviously, right? So it's like, all right, it's this, and then you do that. So it's like, you want to do that too, but I think like a big like goal in my life and this time I have here is to be a nice person and help others. Not everyone, because not everyone wants help, and I don't want to waste my energy helping people who don't want help, and have fun, right? So be a nice person and have fun. And those two is like, as long as you're doing them both, I think we're going to have like a better, leave the world a little better place. Not that's always the goal, but like it's a nice thing to do if everyone did it. And have fun, right?
Yeah, and enjoy your life.
Exactly. Like surfing, you go climbing, you go on a little road trip. You like you being spontaneous and a little impulsive, and then have control over your money, have control over your economy. Then like you just like, there's always like things that needs to be done for you to have that good life. Like everyone has to work. Most people at least have to work. But you don't have to work where you don't like to work.
I like that.
Right? So it's like...
But I like that. Everyone listen to that.
Yeah.
You don't have to work where you don't like to work.
No, you can quit any day. But like if you have a big mortgage to pay now and a couple kids to feed, obviously it looks easy from my side sitting here.
Yeah.
Just cruising. But no, I think you can... but you said it too. It's like leaving your hometown. Because I come from a village that is like maybe 100, 150 people in it. Like tiny.
No.
In the woods, what? Right? There's nobody there.
A village. So like, he said village.
No joke. There's no supermarket. There's like 6 kilometers to buy milk. Like to go to school was like eventually like, 20 kilometers. Then I moved even further into the woods with a couple of friends, and that was where I watched the movie Surf's Up. And
then you're like, that's
yeah, I
me.
want to get barreled. And I booked a one-way ticket to Costa Rica. No joke. Seriously. And that was the whole destination, was getting like a little tube, and then.
So you lived with your family in the village?
Well, I did move out.
Did you grow up in the village?
Yeah,
when did you get to the village?
Well, I was born there.
You were born in the village?
In the deep bushes, not joking, in the hospital. But no, I grew up there, right? With my great-grandma and my granddad. So I was like, and they're like, you know, my granddad's a lumberjack, building like huts and pretty hardcore stuff.
Wow.
Drinking moonshine, you know, we made our own moonshine. It's definitely not legal and old enough. But yeah, I moved away from like my family house when I was 16.
Yeah.
And then I tried to go to school for like a few years, which I couldn't really. I didn't really like anything of it except being social.
Yeah.
With friends and girls and all that part. So I just dropped out when I was 17. I moved like 100 kilometers away from my home, and I tried school there, and then I was like, this is not for me. And then I just quit going to school. Started working for a few years. Went to Amsterdam. My friend and I did mushrooms, and we just decided not to go back to Norway, and we just kind of started traveling. Then I called my mom like a month later, because I told her I was going to Sweden for like a weekend, and then I was in Africa, and I'm like, yo, I'm in Africa. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I just left, you know? She's like, what the fuck? That was it.
Like,
yeah.
My God.
Poor mom. She had a hard time.
Does
too.
she have other kids?
Yeah, my sister, she also lives away abroad. You know, so.
Yeah.
But, you know, my mom's a good person. She did really well, you know, like everyone else. They had their traumas and their way of, so, you know, so it's like, not everything is done right, but it was always a good intention behind it. You know, it was always like with love.
Of course.
So it's like, but then you grow up, and there's all this shit that you've accumulated, and things like, as you said, the decisions we're like kind of holding on to because that feels like the only thing we know. And then eventually when you move away from your hometown and you kind of live on your own, meeting different, more similar people, it's like you kind of find yourself in a way, you know, kind of let go of that past and let go of that person that everyone expects you to be back home. And then when you come home, it's like, oh, you used to do this. I'm like, okay. I used to, but I'm not anymore. You know, like, what's this conversation going to go now? So it's like, you really feel when you connect with people who's like on a similar level of like, you know, growth or experience and mindset. And then it's okay for people who's not. That thing took me a long time to understand too. Is like not trying to convince anyone.
Yes.
You know, because it's just like, it's not helping me.
Everyone's on their own journey, right?
Exactly.
And that can like, I've totally been there, like when I first kind of, I guess, had a bit of an awakening, and I was like, oh my God, everyone needs to do this. Everyone needs to know this. Oh my gosh, like feeling so inspired and passionate about everything that I've been learning. And it can be easy to kind of get caught in this little trap of like, oh, judging other people that aren't there yet.
Exactly.
And it's like that's you being judgmental.
100%.
You know? It's like everyone's on their own journey. Like if they're meant to get there in this lifetime, they will. And like just trust that and let them have their own journey, because why would you put that on yourself?
And that's always what happens is like they don't feel that. You're feeling this like negativity around it, and they don't even know.
Yeah, they're happy.
They are, you know, some more, yeah, exactly. So it's
they're
like
happy being ignorant. It's good.
It's like ignorance is a bliss, guys. It's just continue.
Sometimes I wish I could go back and be ignorant and forget everything I learned.
Easy sometimes, but then you realize, no, please no.
I was like, no.
It can't. You know. So once you've experienced this life, you can never go back.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So no, it's
pros and cons with that one.
Yeah, it's all part of the process, right? So when a car crashed into you can smile. That was like,
That's when you know you've made it, right?
I'm like, fuck, I even told my client.
I awakened?
Yeah. I told my client later, I'm like, I'm actually low-key proud of that situation.
Am I
because I had to go work, and I'm like, yeah.
Have I reached Jesus consciousness?
Because that was not me 10 years ago. I would have slapped the guy. And good thing I didn't, because it's obviously a guy you don't want to slap here. So, yeah. Yeah, like, when he called me, my friend said too, it's like, dude, this is a miracle. This guy just like doing all that stuff, you know? Because he had to go pick up, he had to get another car, pick up the scooter, drive it to the mechanic, get the parts.
It might have really changed something in him.
He did tell me, like, yo, that was such a good reminder for me. Because we drove the car together when he had to drive me go to work now, because I couldn't go work, obviously. Didn't have my scooter and knee was a little fucked.
That's amazing.
So it's cool. Like I sat there later, I was like, that was a really well handled situation. Even though I was like upset, obviously in my head it wasn't like that. And I remember like also another like not similar but little similar story was 3 years ago. I was walking with my grandma and my auntie. So when I'm in Norway, I like to do like this little walking trips with them. And we're walking like on the left side of the road. There's like 50 kilometers speed limit, and there's a guy coming in a really nice like an Audi A8, like a nice expensive car, and he almost hits my grandma on purpose. Because she's walking a little bit in the road, and it's like, well, she's 80 years old, bro. Like, we're walking there where we live, and you come from your cabin, whatever. So when I see that happen, like, immediately, if, like, I had a rock in my hand, like, I would have thrown the rock at the car because he almost killed my grandma, right? And my grandma gets all scared. My aunt, I'm walking behind them, and my aunt is like, they're both getting really, really mad. And I think within like a minute or 2 minutes, I just like start to think about that person, like how his morning was. Like maybe his wife just left him, maybe his kid, like, there could have been so many things for that person not to want to live anymore. And he was like, this guy's just walking in the sun now. He's like fucking just chilling. And then he's like, but he didn't do it. It was just like a maneuver. So obviously my first thought was like to protect my grandma with the rock if I had, because I was angry. And then like, you know what, bro, I hope you have a good day. I hope you find love for this, like I'm sorry for you. What was interesting though, because this is like a half-hour walk, it was just in the beginning of the walk, it took me like a couple minutes to feel like, okay, good, like I hope you have a good day. I hope if there wasn't the right thing to do, I'm not mad at you, bro. Like it's all good.
Yeah, and
they were still mad when they came back after the trip. They were still talking about it the next day, and it was like this big thing. And I could just see them like lingering on to this negativity. Nothing happened. It could have, but it didn't. So it's like they're now creating all this negativity around them and the situation where I could find love for that person.
Yes.
And obviously that's better for me.
Yes.
And than anything else. So it's more like a selfish thing almost, but it's like it does help. Because you just have more trust around the thing, and everyone allowed to have a bad day.
Yeah.
If it's every day now, it's a different thing, but obviously.
It's a beautiful reminder.
It was.
Because finding compassion and love, like for whatever's happened, helped you to move through that.
Exactly.
And to not have to sit in that. And imagine like if you held on to that for the next 24, 48 hours.
How much stress and shit.
What's that creating in your body?
Exactly.
Inflammation, cortisol, like and obviously it doesn't feel good. And it's like if you're the main character of your life, right? You get to decide what happens. You get to choose how you respond to situations, and ultimately that's gonna create an emotional experience for you. So like if you're in control of that, for what purpose would you choose to be fucking angry about this situation that almost happened but didn't happen, like a near miss? Like why would you want to hang out in that for longer than you need to?
Exactly. And I think that's good because like I have like my last client told me they want to replace like anxiety, stress, and all that negative stuff with like joy, love, happiness. And I'm like, well, that's not going to happen. We're going to teach, or we're going to learn how to sit within the anger or sit within the stress. Because it's like you're a human, and when somebody's going to pass away you love, you're going to be sad.
Yeah.
This life,
yes.
Or when somebody hits you with it's okay to be angry. It's just like, how are you dealing with the situation that you're in the stress now? So that's what we're kind of working on now. Is like I kind of understand the body instead of like disappearing or escaping it with surf, with drugs, with work, with money, with sex, whatever. It's like, no, you kind of sit with it. And then when the hard times come or when the stress occurs and there's like, it's not like you're not going to be stressed. It's just like you deal how to sit with the stress more.
I think
that's important.
I like that. There is a big movement that's kind of coming through now, which I really love, that people are learning that it's okay to feel. It's okay to feel, And I think what's the next thing is like, it's okay to express. Yeah. Like, like it's okay to let it out of you.
Also, it's like a healthy boundary. It's like, I don't want to go there. And they ask you if you want to go out for dinner. And you're like, no. that's okay to say if you don't want to and you have a big day tomorrow, you want to go sleep early, and it's like, it's nothing personal, but I'm just having this boundary now, like, hey, I don't want to go out, it's not you, and I'm allowed to express myself, saying that. But people don't really do that because they feel obligated to sit in a room when they don't have to.
Oh yeah, I agree with what you're saying there around like, speaking your truth. And it's like this, I met someone yesterday, I met this amazing couple, and we like got to know each other really well, and we're chatting and stuff, and through learning about her partner, she was like, he's learning now that it's like, it's okay to feel his feelings. And I was like, cool. And what I kind of observed in that, I was like, he's learning to feel it, but he's not letting it out. He's not expressing it. Like, this guy's fucking angry. He's angry, but he's not letting the anger out, you know? And
then one day it's going to explode, right?
Yeah.
So you just need to air out the balloon a little bit.
Yeah, right. And so I think that's so important to let that energy out. Like when you picture
100%.
what anger looks like someone actually going there and like really letting that animal rage come out of them. Imagine tucking that inside instead.
Every day, you know, for small things. The guy cuts in traffic and he just suddenly like hates this person now.
Just builds up and builds up. And then it leaks out.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's when you got to do like, there's different things for different people, right? But that's what it's like. It's really important to train. It's important to do like the stimulation that you need to not have those like crazy outbursts. Like it's okay to be angry, but then like you just done a lot of work. You went to the gym, you lifted weights, you ate good, you slept good, and it's like your body kind of deals with that anger and the stress a lot easier
if you're taking care of yourself.
You're taking care of yourself,
that
like
makes sense.
If you sit inside, I had a period where I streamed Twitch like hours, like 18-hour day streams, just working on the computer, making money, playing games, which is crazy. But anyways.
Wow.
It was like,
you do not strike me as a gamer.
Nobody does. And I was like, I'm having a Twitch streamer. It's pretty ridiculous. But anyways, like I sit there for so long, right? Hours in, hours out, like days, just like suddenly my body's feeling like crazy because I haven't stimulated it. I haven't been training as much as I want to, and I haven't been sleeping as much as I want to. So getting obsessed with that. And then when shit happens and when you do feel that stress, it's just way out of control because it's like there's so much accumulated thing you like hold on to.
Well, with that, it's like if someone was in a place in life where they were like, I really want to like start feeling better and doing better in life, what would like the first thing
the breathing
that you recommend to them? Breathing.
Because like
what kind of breathing?
It depends on the person, you know. There's different techniques. I look at the breath like 3 ways to breathe, but there's 1,000 different techniques within them. It's either over or under or a balanced breathing. So hyperventilating, or you're under breathing, or you're breathing in a balance, like a box breathing practice. But what I can tell people, like the first thing you can do right now, listening to this, you can sit down, even if you're working, you can start controlling the breathing pattern. So you can change how you breathe, like right now. There's no excuses because I have a mortgage or I have kids or I can't because I don't. Like, you can sit there now and you can breathe for 2 minutes. Change the breath, right? So what under breathing is doing, like calmer breathing practice, is activating the rest and digest part of the brain. It sends a signal to the reptilian part like, hey, you're safe. You know, your body doesn't really know the difference between a hyperventilating practice and an actual scared scenario because both times you're producing adrenaline and cortisol. So that's the part of the Wim Hof practice too, is like increase the stress doing breath holds, holding the stress under control. So you're increasing stress and then you're holding it. So that's not for everyone who's already really fragile. Yeah. Right? And they're already in a super state of fight and flight. You know, you don't need to increase the fight and flight right now. For some people it does work, but many times it's going to just like trigger more of the trauma. Yeah. So it depends on their breathing practice. But you can sit now, right now, and you can do 2 minutes of breathing. Doubling the length of your inhalation. So you do 5 in, 10 out. You can do 1 minute in, 2 minute out as like a goal to practice on, but start with 5 in, 10 out. And you do that for a few minutes, you're going to feel more relaxed. It's just how the mechanism, or how mechanical the body really is, and you're the alchemist of your
I like
chemistry.
to kind of say the breath is like the remote control of the nervous system.
It really is.
Yeah.
But it's 100% this. It doesn't really, like, if you believe or not believe.
It is.
It is. It's how we feel. So when people are, when they're sitting in an office and they're making stress thoughts about the future or the past, making money. That's a really bad stress because there's not an actual scenario. It's just a man-made thing in your head and you're not getting anywhere. But doing a hard conversation or speaking in public or doing an ice bath or going to the gym or fasting for 3 days, that's all stress too, but it's a hermetic stress. So it's a good stress for the body. It's what we need to feel like. And we're just, what I teach is like very primal stuff, you know, basics, because we're not doing the basics anymore. We're very comfortable with like delivery food, or it's just always an AC and it's warm. You're not exposed to the cold anymore. So it's like, we're just learning how to feel a little uncomfortable in
I like that.
primal stuff.
And that like translates really well and nicely, like in the sense like when you do have a stressful
100%.
challenge in your life, it's like, oh fuck, well I want to go. Like when I did ayahuasca,
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my god, if I can do that, I can do anything.
for sure. It's
Right?
it's intense.
It's like it teaches you. It teaches
What
you
you
that you're
need,
okay.
for sure.
Yeah, in the challenges. It's like, I did a 5-minute ice bath.
Yeah.
I can do this.
Right,
or,
exactly.
you know, I went on that long run. Like, I can do this. Like, my mindset's,
Exactly.
yeah. So it's
It's a lot of work to feel good, right? It's not just like simple recipe, but it is a simple recipe. It's just sometimes hard to follow because we're living in a very unnatural way of living. And luckily we're here in nature. Because nature is the real healer, you know, like that's when it shows you the ice baths or, you know, food or whatever it is. Nature is there to teach us things.
Speaking of nature, I remember when we were on the plane, you told me that you were going back home to have some solo time. Like,
Yeah.
how was that?
I did a lot of fishing and camping on my own, but there was a lot of things happening, unfortunately. My family member got really sick, almost dying, so I had to take care of him for 6 months almost.
Wow.
Yeah, it was intense. So it was good though. I spent a lot of time like working on the house and doing some carpentry and like helping out. And if I wasn't there, he most likely would have been dead. So there was always a good reason for me to go back. But then when you're home, you're there and whatever I told the doctors, I went to so many like meetings with the doctors and they always did the opposite. And I talked to like professional experts in Norway about nitric oxide, which is a molecule only produced through the nasal region.
Yes.
It's the miracle molecule. So when you inhale through the nose, your body produces this.
Is it this one?
Yeah.
That
The
like helps
alternate-
reset. Yeah.
The alternate nasal breathing practice. But just generally breathing through the nose, and the slower you breathe in through the nose, the more you produce of that molecule. So if your nose is blocked, you're going to produce a little more of that molecule. So it's actually good for you to breathe slower through the nose.
Oh, okay.
So it's no excuses. If you're having a blocked nose, it's still good for you. It's actually better, which
Oh,
is annoying
great.
for
Okay.
people saying something about
That's
it.
changed my, because anytime I have a blocked nose, I'm like, I wish I appreciated having clear nasal
Exactly.
passageways so
No, you
much
didn't.
more when I did. Now when I have it, I'm going to like, perfect.
Slow in.
Yeah.
Right? Slow out. So I told him, because there's been a couple scenarios. And when I tell them, like, yo, so he should start focusing on the nasal breathing because that carries up to 20% more oxygen to the blood. And they just shook their head. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then they sent him on chemo, and then he almost died from chemo. And then it's like, all right. And then it passes, and then there's another meeting. And I talked to this one doctor in my town. She's been a doctor there for 40 years. And I have to educate her about the nervous system. I have no education. I never went to school. Then you're sitting there and you have no clue what I'm talking about. And now you're getting mad because I'm sitting in a family setting saying your industry is all about money. I want to help people. And they get super offensive. I'm like, what do you want to argue? You don't even know what we're talking about. And you're a doctor and I'm not. Like, this must make you feel so dumb.
Oh, there's a bit of
And
an
it's
ego
like,
wound happening in that
100%.
moment, right?
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you're pushing one thing that's going to make an industry a lot of money, but I'm trying to push people to go make a healthier choice in the supermarket or just go in a nice bath, and they'll feel better, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a little frustrating. My point was, like, being there for 6-7 months, like everything I said, my family wanted to, not always, but they trusted
The system.
the system so, like, they're so into it.
It's a deeply
Yeah,
ingrained
it's
program
hard.
in society.
And even when the shit happened, I told them it's going to happen, there's still, like, next decision, they'll listen to them. So it's like, you know what,
Yeah.
I'm here, I do my best, but I can't really evolve, you know, I'm not with like-minded people anymore, I'm there. So it's like, I just took a decision of, like, He's fine now, luckily. You know, it's a little bit of changes, obviously. But I talked to him a couple of days ago. We spoke for 10 minutes. He's smiling. He's like, yeah, I'm good.
Wow.
So I just got to focus on me, being here, just doing my thing. You know, I love to surf. I love waking up early. I like to hang out with cool people and do podcasts and stuff. It's hard in my little village with 100 people. What's a podcast? No joke. It's like, yeah, bro. It's nice weather today, man.
That is so crazy, like such a culture shock as well. Like it's really interesting, like inserting yourself back into like an environment that like you grew up in and not much has changed there.
Nothing.
When you've changed completely.
So much.
It's really kind of discombobulating, isn't it?
Yeah, it's trippy because you have all this like information you want to give and share, and it's like it's just the same TV show or the same programs, and it's like a couple new buildings, and you're like, yeah. Sweet.
Yeah.
And then, so that's when the real practice is, when you sit with your family through Christmas and everyone's just stressing. And like you can sit and meditate and feel good on the beach here, which is kind of easy with the sound of the ocean and the feel of the wind and the breeze. But sitting there, let's see how spiritual we're actually at now, you know?
Yeah. I feel like that's when the real integration begins. You know, it's like, and I've experienced that, like going home at the end of last year for 3 months and being like, what am I going to do with this? Like, how am I going to keep myself regulated? Like, and definitely fell back into some past behaviors and habits, and I was aware of it. So I was consciously, consciously thinking, I was like, okay, cool. And I definitely improved on the last time that I was there as well. So,
and it's okay to do mistakes. The life is about learning, right? So but there's certain things you can't go back to, and there's things that, you know, that is
it's all learning, you know.
It always is, you know.
I like this saying, there's no failure, there's only feedback.
There is. And that's all the perception, right? Because what did I learn from that situation again? I think it's just so much, but again, it's hard sometimes in the situation and in the darkness to see like the light or the learning from it, and you're like, so I can see that too.
Especially when there's emotion attached to it still, like if you're still in this, if you're still feeling pain, like in whatever you're in, like it's really hard for you to be like, but it's happening for me. Like it's
just breathe, bro.
Just breathe. It's like, fuck off. I hate the world right now. And it's like, it's all right.
It's really hard to not be angry, like in the moment you're angry, or not to kind of change that, like to feel like okay with it, and to be like, because when you're already into that, like when the engine's going here, you know, when you're on a little rage or whatever, it's like, so you have to do the work before to kind of feel the okay with it more.
What would you recommend to people, like, when they're in it, like when they're in that?
There's this guy called Peter Attia. I've listened to a lot of his podcasts. He's a well-known doctor, and he did this really like interesting thing. He had to go to like seek help eventually, and he did it when he was like 47 or 48, so kind of like older in life. And he was really like angry, you know, like mad, like if he did something wrong, he had too high expectations, or, you know, physical, like hitting things and stuff. And it's like, when that happens, it's kind of hard to change, especially for me too, when I was younger, because you're so mad, there's no way of change. Like you can't even hear people almost, because it's just like, you're just so upset.
Okay.
But what he was doing was saying, like, let's say you're surfing, it's a good analogy, but one day it's kind of big out there and there's windy, you kind of have the wrong equipment, you didn't sleep well, you partied like a week ago, whatever. There's many factors for you to not surf well. It's not necessarily you on the wave. It could be many things that you don't understand, like, oh, this was the direction of, or just like, let's say the direction of the wave, and then you're having wrong equipment. But it felt like the right equipment 2 days ago, but now the wave has changed a little bit, and it's not really the right board for the right wave there, right? But you don't know that, so you get mad at your surfing, you're upset because you don't follow through. So he was saying, like, just always talk to yourself like it's your best friend.
Yeah.
Because you will never say to your best friend, you fucking suck, you know?
You're so shit.
Exactly.
You should be so ashamed of yourself.
Exactly. As a joke, you can do that, but like to actually help your friend, you would never do that. So sometimes now when I get into that, like, you could have done better, or this and that, I'm like, you know what? I didn't sleep that well last night, or I've been training 6 times this week, and I've been working a lot. I'm actually pretty tired, you know, like my arms are a little sore. I know how to surf, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay. I'm not going to always be the best or no. That's all right. You just wanted to go and have fun. Because you know what you can and you can't do, right? So it's like, just step back sometimes, look at it as your best friend, and then give those words to yourself, like a little tap, like, well, it's another day to tomorrow. We can go back.
Yeah.
Like, it's all right. We'll be fine. And it's like, that's your friend. That friend will feel good, because you wouldn't hurt your friend with those words. You're hurting yourself. So I think it was good because he explained it in a really nice way. So I think there's one with Joe Rogan. He talks about how he changed the anger issues with talking to himself like he was his best friend.
I really like that. It's inviting in self-compassion and kindness, and it just helps transmute that, that blame and shame that's going on. Yeah. Yeah, that's really, really nice. I think that's super helpful and really important for people, like when they're in the tough times, because if you're just bashing yourself on top of it, that's not going to do any good.
It's just creating another problem for your solution. That's all it does.
I want to go back to something we was talking about earlier. We were talking about nature, and you were talking about how nature is a really big healer. And I'd love to talk more about that, because I don't think people really get that very much. They're like, nature's a healer. I remember one of my mentors being like, I talk to the plants, and I was like, what the fuck? And
this
I'm like,
guy's a hippie.
and I'm like, this is strange. And she's not that, she's a very successful businesswoman. And I'm
modern
like,
hippie.
she's talking to the plants. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, yeah, the plants talk to me. I'm like, okay, this is strange. And now I'm like, oh yeah, the plants talk to me.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, what's that like for you? What does nature do for you?
I think...
How is it healing for you?
The first thing I can think of is the ice bath. Because there's no way of escaping. You can go out, but if you want to sit in this, that is so extremely painful. And it's not like it's painful for you and not for me. It's just I can sit with it, right? I'm okay with the pain. I'm okay with the feeling. My hands hurt. My feet hurts. I shiver. I want to get out. Obviously, there's a level of training you need to do a longer ice bath. You don't want to jump in your first time. Actually, when I did my ice bath training, I did a 2-month course. It started very slow, 30-second cold shower to 1 minute into the after 10 weeks. You're kind of doing it out. I did it in Norway in winter time, and it was just getting more and more extreme. And then, but I wouldn't start with that. My first real ice bath, before I did that course and practice, I could do 30 seconds.
You're really titrating,
So you had to for some people going in a 5-minute ice bath their first time, it's cool, but you're probably not going to go back, because it's your body is in shock. It's just so painful. There's why am I doing this? Doesn't feel good at all.
That was fucked. Just
Don't
giving
do
yourself
that,
some trauma. Yeah. It's I didn't have feelings in my toes for 48
hypothermia,
hours.
gotta cut them off almost. Shit. Healthy. So ice baths teach you a lot on your mind, because you can't really focus. And this is all Wim Hof, what I got from his way of teaching and his approach is you don't really think about your girlfriend's heartbreak or the bills you have to pay. You're just thinking about survival. How the fuck can I not die? Because that's what's going to happen eventually, and that's the signal your brain starts to understand too. It's hey, this is so cold, you could get hypothermia now, and you could. So, but again, it's you have a thermostat in your body, right? When Wim Hof does trainings, he doesn't even regulate his body temperature. So he sits 2 hours in an ice bath, and his body temperature is exactly the same. And this is the same thing for every human. That's what he changes in science now, and they're rewriting the science books in Harvard University, because they thought all this stuff of the fight and flight and the rest and digest part was automatic, but it's not. It's fully in control, and it's linked through the breath. So ice baths, for sure, nature. I think hunting is a big part. I come from a village, and we hunt. And fishing is a big part of my life, and I love trout fishing, fly fishing.
Do you do much fishing here?
Not really, too much in the salt water, and I do want to get into more spearfishing here. So
I go spearfishing.
My friend has gear, and we're gonna start in the lagoon right where I stay.
I go deep sea fishing as well.
Yeah, awesome. And you catch so much good food.
I froth it.
Right, it's healthier. You have a bigger connection to the things you're actually killing. Because that's what you're doing in the supermarket. You're not killing it. You're just paying somebody else to do it. And I think mass industrial, agriculture is always bad, regardless. So the more we can connect to nature to appreciate the things you are actually taking from nature, I think we're very disconnected from that. And if people actually saw how things were made, they would never eat it.
Yeah.
And it's very easy because it tastes like bacon. Now it's just like nice. But if you understood the depth behind it, not saying you shouldn't eat it, you do whatever you want, but like, I just want to have a connection to nature and what I'm taking from nature.
Yeah.
I'm not always doing it. Trust me, I order food at the restaurant and I order food at the supermarket. That isn't perfect. Most of the time I try to do better.
It's nice that you have that different perspective and appreciation and awareness around it as well. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And so you have something in Norway called seasonal affective disorder.
What's seasonal
it's
defective
no
disorder?
sunlight, right? For 9 months. So it's not in Norway. It's a common thing in northern countries, close to them.
I don't
to
think
the
I
Arctic.
could do it.
Nobody really can. You pretend that you can, but your body doesn't get the vitamins it needs. So it's like, no matter how much pills you're taking, it's like you do need to stay and look at the sun. You know, like not all day staring and burn your eyes, which people think I'm doing because I, sun gaze. But I think like you have a circadian clock in your body, a rhythm. So when you wake up in a nice natural time and you see sunlight, your eyes register, your body starts to wake up and you're going,
Your system gets going, digestion, everything.
And at night you start to feel tired again because that's like the circle of your circadian rhythm is way more natural. So when I'm in Norway and I have had corporate jobs where I couldn't take time off whenever I want to, it'd be like 3-4 weeks before I saw the sun. And you're like in the office, you're grinding, you're drinking coffees, you're eating unhealthy, and just trying to make money, and then you have no sunlight.
Oh my
like there's just like a whole.
I just saw the color gray. I was just like, oh, it's so.
It's raining or it's
gray.
snowing or it's like it's cloudy. So it's like, no matter how much pretty Norway, I think it's one of the prettiest countries in the world. It has more pristine nature, awesome. But fuck that, sitting in rain and darkness for 9 months. There's no way. So that's also nature. You need sunlight.
So I love, what you're saying is, more like, here I am, like, kind of being like a spiritual level. How's nature heal you? You're like, no, you actually just need it for your body.
Yeah.
Like, we are a part of nature. Like we are connected to nature, like, through our circadian rhythms. Like, our body responds to nature, to the light, to the cycles of nature. And, like, we need it to survive and to thrive
100%.
on a biological level.
Yeah. It's hard to because the hippie level of like talking to plants, like, everything can talk to you if you just like sit and listen. It doesn't have the words like verbally like saying things, but there's a connection to everything, right? I believe at least there's a connection to it all. But it's like telling a person who's like in the Matrix to go hug a plant and talk to it, they'd be like, fuck you, bro. Go grounding, have my feet in the sand or in the grass. It just tickles. Right? It's just like people have, like, they're so disconnected. So I understand that would be hard for a person who has all that shit to work with. Just go in the grass.
I really appreciate the way that you've delivered that.
Yeah.
That it's like, no, you actually just need it for your body to thrive.
Well, you do.
Yeah.
Well, then it's, especially like coming from Norway, it's very easy to see, like when I go back, when it's like, yo, I've been there for months, I haven't seen the sun. Like, how can you guys do this? And I'm used to now traveling for the last 15 years around the world where there's sun. So I want to see more sun.
I'd be super curious about the stats around people in Norway's like mental health as a result and physical health.
It's very interesting and have a different
or maybe they've
approach.
like adapted to it.
In some way or others, you do. The body is very adaptive. If you smoke cigarettes, your body's going to adapt to smoking cigarettes. Or if you use alcohol or other drugs, it's like you can do a lot of things because your body is very unique. It's extremely adaptive, right? But it's not always necessarily saying it's the good thing. So it's like you can adapt, your body will start craving alcohol and you can actually die without it. It's like, is that good for me even though my body adapted to it? No, it's like, it's not. We know like the basic things we need for human health. There's things we want and there's things we need, right? So you don't need an ice bath, but you need sun, right?
Yeah.
But it's both part of the system, the nature. So I think it's just important to sometimes just slow down. You don't have to do anything. There's no tomorrow, no yesterday. You just sit there right now and you appreciate being alive.
Yeah.
It's hard sometimes because we have all these goals and things and expectations and things from the system that is nobody in our own benefits.
The program, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. So tell me, what are what's next for you? Like, what are your goals? What are you wanting to create?
I want to make a wellness club in Rancho Citauna. My friend's hotel on the beach has probably the best location in town here. So I want to just make a place where people can hang out. They can go surf, they can do an ice bath, they can do a sauna, they can do a yoga class, or they can do a breathwork class, or a little calisthenic gym training, and make a little wellness hub there. As I'm still working online with my online coaching and stuff, and I think just for now to do that for a few years, help out and build. And he's a really nice guy. We have a good relationship. You know, we're both interested in helping each other, but also it's like, it's not that ego kind of way of working, which is really healthy. And I feel really good working with this guy. So I feel very grateful. So I want to lock in and do that now. And then maybe in 5-10 years have a big yacht with Starlink and solar panels and a really cool crew. Maybe a future girlfriend, and just sail around, maybe Fiji, crystal clear water, and just surf and go fishing and make money online while traveling the world.
That sounds cool.
It's been a dream for a long time, but it's like, it's more and more becoming like, okay, it's gonna happen eventually.
Yeah.
And then I had a conversation yesterday. It's like, yeah, did you sail ever, bro? And I'm like, nope.
That's what I was about to ask you. I'm like, sailing,
I haven't, bro. But I'm like, the Vikings did it 1,000 years ago with no GPS, no charts, no forecasts. I'm sure we'll be fine. It's going to be hard. I understand that. But nothing is impossible. There's no problems. There's only solutions.
Yes, right. And people do this thing where they find a problem. Like, you're always going to find a problem.
Always.
If you're looking for a problem, you'll find it.
Hundreds.
So just change it in your brain. Start fucking looking for solutions.
Exactly.
Yeah?
100%. And it's funny now when you see people who's like that, already negative towards this thing you want to do or whatever. It's like, you don't think I thought about this, bro? Like, you don't thought, I'm just going to buy a boat and go out with no experience alone. No, obviously not.
Obviously, I'm going to teach myself a
thing or two. Yeah, and there's going to be people on the crew
boat
that can do, like, you know, medicine, or there's things that we need, like a mechanic, or there's like things if shit hits and breaks, you know, like you want to fix it. But I have heard just before, like, I start traveling, this guy in Norway, he bought an 80-foot sailboat with like 8-10 people, no experience, sail like from Norway to Spain, which is a fair decent amount. And he was like, you know what? And they just went cross. They just sailed for years and had no experience. And he wasn't like a very like Viking-looking person. No, he's a businessman who was like fed up, and he was like, yo, I'm leaving. And it just took the family, another family, and they bought a big boat, and they just made it happen. So
that's wild.
You can get crashed in a car crash outside here, or it's like you can get stuck with something in your throat, like eating. If nature and this universe want you gone,
it'll happen.
You can't dodge it. You don't have to force it to happen, because obviously your action is going to have a consequence, but I cannot go around living this world being scared of things that could happen. It's just not in me. Yeah.
What would you say to someone who is experiencing life like that?
It depends the person, I guess. But
if they're just scared, they're scared to quit their job, or they're scared to leave the relationship.
It's a good question.
Scared to travel.
It's easy to say, like the Nike logo, just do it.
Just do it. It's so crazy that you said that, because my brain literally said, just do it. Just do it. Oh my
God. Because it is that easy. Yeah. It's always just because everything comes down to a decision. You can say, no, I'm different, but it's a decision for everyone. Like, I want to quit smoking. That is a decision I need to make, right? It's whatever you think it is. It's just either doing it or not doing it. Always comes down to a decision. So it's like, if you want to leave your partner because they're abusive, it's your decision to do that, right? But what Joe Dispenza teaches a lot is like the humans, or what he explains is, we're just like so creatures of habits, and we rather want to do something that is painful and we know, than doing something we don't know, because the fear of the unknown.
Familiar hell over unfamiliar heaven, right?
And it's the classic, I've been using this example for a long time, because going back to that relationship is bad for you. You know it's abusive, but you have to make a choice of not doing it. Like, no matter what you like, people can want you to quit, or people can want you to leave, and it's like, no matter what they do, it's you who has to make the decision. And sometimes it's just, look, this is where you're supposed to be right now. You're just in this to either learn or, to keep doing the same mistakes.
People really want certainty before they take the leap.
Yeah, and that's not how it works.
It's not how it works. Sorry, guys. I didn't have certainty when I moved to Costa Rica.
No, you're scared.
I didn't know where the fuck I was moving here. It was
and
just like
doubt, and you're like, oh, but then you continue, and then you continue, and then look, now you're just like killing it. It's like awesome.
Yeah.
Because of the decision of not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it feels like a risk and if it feels like a leap, then that's a clue that you're in the right place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
And you got to be willing to let go of the things that are anchoring you into that current reality so that you can step into a new reality. Like it's not possible to be in that new reality.
Limbo in between.
Yeah, you can't. Like you've actually got to let it go. You've got to let it die.
Yeah.
You got to shed that skin
Well,
so you
it's
get that
tough,
shiny new skin.
With friends, that's been really hard because you come home and it's been your best friend for like 25 years almost, like since you were kids, and you're just so freaking different. And you love that person from the bottom of your heart, but you can just see there's no growth or no change or no like similarities anymore. It's like no matter how much I want to hang out and get fucked up and go with you the weekend and do the things we used to do, right? It's like I can't anymore, right? I can do it once a year. All right, let's go have fun.
I can do it.
You know, but like I can't like meet you on that level anymore.
Yeah.
So unless you want to come fishing, go do sports or go train, like if you don't want to do those things, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at you or anything, but I'm just gonna step out and not be with you anymore.
Yeah.
And I have had to do that with friends back home, which has been very tough. But as you said, it's very hard to keep lingering in either one, and then like you can't go into the next step.
There's an element of self-abandoning there that happens
has to
as
die,
well.
It has to go away. It has to be.
Like if it doesn't feel good for you anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I'm actually just abandoning myself now.
And that's not okay either.
No.
That's bad because of
that's
you,
bad.
right?
You can't do that to yourself.
And he's doing whatever he's doing, you know, like that's okay.
We can love people where they're at.
100%.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's a good
this
one.
This has been such a
So
good
nice.
chat.
Yeah, it's cool.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate it. I feel like there's
Awesome.
been so many golden nuggets that people are going to walk away with
Yeah, hopefully.
from that chat. Yeah.
Just do it. All right. Thank you so much.
Ciao.